Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lili Nishmasi Mimirosi Ruspas Mordechai. Welcome to all the guests. You had a conversation beforehand?
Constant conversation.
Oh, Shalom Aleichem, Dan. Look at all my guests here. Shalom Aleichem, Ragal David, Shalom Aleichem, from Zichru, all the way from Zichru. You ever heard of the program? Oh,
I remember it.
he's a big chassid, Levi. That's why he's standing with the camera. I always say a big simcha in the house. Dave Sharpman had a baby girl. I mean, his wife did. Really? Rosh Koil? Grandson. Yesterday? Mazel Tov Rosh Koil. Tom's River Satellite Purim program. Purim with MDY. Kahal B'nai Yisachar. Yivaldik.
Join us for Purim night and morning at Chal B'nai Yisachar. Hot food, great learning, and a vibrant community.
AI. Dear Belly. Been doing the Daf for nearly 2 years now and really enjoyed the Gashmias and the Ruchnias. My father's nifta just over 3 months ago. It was the first time I was not able to learn, but thankfully my job entails a lot of driving, so I was able to catch up in 2 days. Yesterday, I just had my 31st operation. This time, major back surgery. I was able to watch yesterday's Daf, especially with your hilarious stories in the 22nd minute. I video your funny stories. What is he talking about? What's in the 22nd minute? I don't know. I video your funny stories and send them, The bridge? I think it's the elevator story, but okay. I video your funny stories and send them to my friends. I cannot be sure if anyone has joined because of them, but hope they have chizuk. Keep giving us enjoyment and chizuk. Disciple Jeffrey Reuben. It's been a very beautiful morning. Nachamol, oy v'sei b'libeinu leyavavin, oy limoidu oy avinu avarachamon avirachem rachem. It should be a good cheer with people not sneezing, not getting up. It's going to be a good one this time. It's going to be a good one. Wow. All right. Boys, we have an email from Sydney, Australia. I've been learning the Daf from the beginning of this cycle, but at the beginning of Menachos, I switched over to you. A couple of reasons. I'm a visual person, so when you use your AI videos and physical props, it's incredibly helpful. As the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. You hear, Rabbi Goldaver? It's mamish up your alley. Goldhar. It's me and names. The visuals. Don't worry, sometimes they call them Menachem. Your humor certainly adds a certain time to the shir. I listen every day to Rabbi Josh Gordon's Chita shir. No matter where he's up to, he'll say good morning to each person as they walk in. About late, you also give Shalom Aleichem to Panam Chadashas. It's one of those days. This guy's davening loud now. Rabbi Isai, this whole table, please go home. This whole table. Including you could stay. Are you new here? He's getting nervous. No, okay. Davening before, sneezing before, schmoozing. I don't know what to do here. It's no Yevayim. Ay, 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 Oveinu, Ovorachamon. It's going to be a tough one. Kol kavod for you setting an amazing example of Havas Yisrael. You see the Havas Yisrael I said over here? Givaldik. Kol Tov from Lewis Goldstein, Sydney, Australia. Rabbi said Mamish. Shidur Chai, Bir Chulon. We have another one. How many are we up to, Baruch Hashem? 30. You stopped counting already. 34. These are the new. We got a Perek sponsor, Zachary Pels. Yishkoyach Zachary. He gave Yossi Klein, our CEO, a tremendous amount of Hana and Gishmak. He was very excited when he called me up to tell me somebody bought a Perek. Dapim. These are the new ones. Neil Halpern, Y.M. Shapiro, S. Schachter, Alan Gross, Simeon Chigger, Kobe Moses, Perry Moses. These are all familiar names. Givaldik. Very good news, Rabbi Isai. The sponsors are back. Instead of emails, we're going to read all the sponsors. The Masechta is sponsored by the Iranian Levi families. Perek, anonymously, Ovi Moyer Rav Chaim Ben Rabbi Yosef Zechron Levrocha. The day is going unbelievable. Lamed Thomas Tavshin Pei Tienish was Zechron Chaim. The Daf, anonymous, to the success of Mishpachas Ashkar. Ashkar. The Masechta is sponsored by David Solomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meir Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Dov Zechron Levrocha. The Masechta is sponsored by Joel Gedalius, Linishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius, anonymous, Hatzlocha Baruch Nizim Begashmi, is the Palachik Family Foundation, Lezech Nishmas Harav Agoyin, Shalom Palachik, the Meshitzer Eloi. I heard his name somewhere, maybe on the Morocco trip. Something like that, I don't know. Anonymous, Refuah Shlema LaMoshe Ben Nizaha. Anonymous, for complete Refuah Shlema and Arichas Yom to Leiba Bas Esther, Yisrael Malki. Toivli Torres Bichem Avi Zav Chesed. We're so proud of you, Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Send the Gross and family, Canvey Island, UK, in honor of Rebelli, who changed my meaning of life. Pliny Almoini, Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Oisim Tzorchi MDY, Akish Baruch Shalom Scharam. Monthly sponsors, Ari Simon, Refuah Shlema Avi Moiri Baruch Ben Miriam, Jamie Azulai, Refuah Shlema Esther Bas Luna, Moshe Aaron and Miriam Landy, Hoyla Hashem Ki Toiv, Kilolem Chazdoi. Anonymous, for the merit of Refuah Shlema, for all guys who need Refuah Shlema, Saul Fisher, in honor of Moshe, is putting on Tefillin. Centers.com, helping Yidden Daven B'tzibur with Papa B'Yonim anywhere worldwide. Linishmas Chaim Shalom Ben B'tzalo. Weekly sponsors: Lev Avos staff therapist, for Shleimah to Moshe Ben Bracha Menachos of Lev Avos for selflessly donating his kidney. Kaufman and Axelrod families for Shleimah for Tinoikis Avigail Tikva Bas Elisheva Chayo. Daily sponsors: Judith and Neil Halpern. Linishmas Judith's beloved mother Goldie. Golda Bas Yosef Baum, whose first yard set is today, or Neshama should have an aliyah. It happens to be my grandmother's yard site today, and I was very, very close to this particular grandmother, Chaya Herta Brindel Bas Rabbi Yosef. I never get it right. I think that we had an anonymous sponsor that was giving a lot of money to. Yeah. It's a hint, Dave. Chaya Herta Brindel, Dave. For the boy, he gave me Sandakaz. For the girl, he's going to call her Chaya Herta Brindel. Otherwise, no, we'll call her Brindel. We don't have to call her the Chaya Herta part. Bas Rabbi Yosef. No, there's a big machlokes in my mishpacha. Mamish, like right after the Levaya, what her real name was. Nobody called her Herta. Herta's German. She was born in Germany. Actually, she was born in Austria. She was born in Austria. So Herta is more of a goyish name, but they never really called it. But they did call a whole Zach, Chai Herta Brindel Bas Rabbi Yosef. She's my father's mother. She's a woman who got daven v'sikin every morning. I lived in her house for at least 3-4 months straight when my parents moved back to America. I stayed in Panovich, Yeshiva Ktana, to finish up the year. One time I said, I called her up, I was mechutzav, I lived in America. I said, I need a shas. I said this, I need a shas. So she sent me Telman Shas, the 6th, I think there's one over here actually. Is it still here? 6 volumes, 6 small volumes like this. It came in the mail like a few days later, even though she didn't have money. She lived in Bnei Brak in a 1-bedroom apartment. That's the one that, in Rechav Rebbe Akiva, they still own it actually. Rechav Rebbe Akiva, 1-bedroom apartment, the whole family, 6 children. The parents took the bedroom, the kids did not get a bedroom. They slept in the dining room. That's the house that we used to go visit her. Anyway, and then the Maisa gets better because one time I come back to the yeshiva and only 1 or 2 of the volumes were there. And one of my good friends told me he had to take it because there's a sign on the thing that anything you leave over a certain amount of time in yeshiva becomes hefker, so he took it as hefker. and he wouldn't give it back to me. The big masman in the shir. So I have a tain on him. You're laughing, but I have tainus. Go tell him to give it back to me now.
What's his name?
What's his name? Oh, 1 minute. I'm middle of the.
Oh, Ariel.
What
He
happened?
said who was Tinus? You had Tinus. Who took Tinus?
Who took the Tinus?
The Shine family memory of Mashachai Bas Dan Oleh Shalom. Right, that's what we're holding? Anonymous for the merit of Refuah for Ben Zion Moshe Ben Rivka. Shine family memory of Mashachai Bas Dan Oleh Shalom. Yeah. And then finally, Morty Rubin, L'schus Hakala, Chai Basara, V'achosel Yitzchak Elio Ben Rivka Chai Mazda, wedding tonight in the Sharf Ballroom Borough Park. MDY Mishpach is invited to be zoichet to build a Bayis Nam Yisrael. So tomorrow we're going to get a picture of Akiva Ziegelman, Chaim Peretz Ziegler, Chaim Peretz Levin. Who's the third that always goes to these things? Shalitsky, the three of them, Beis Hashem, and Mark Ashkenazi is going to show up over there. They can. May be zoich to build a Bayis Nam Yisrael. Givaldik. Rabbi said, here we go. MDY Art month. This is when I say it. Yeah. Okay. Refuah Shleima Yonatan Eitan Ben Bashem Bracha. Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Hayel Daniel Zev Ben Hayel Esther. That only took 6 minutes. Not a big deal. What's 6 minutes in a shir? Yeah. Okay. Hamatonu Shal Mizbeach Achitzoin Ein Ma'akvois Zu Zu. We know. Oh boy. It did an update. Okay. My computer and this computer are not synchronized. Great.
Today's the day.
Yeah, everything. Today is the day.
So it's all new sponsors?
No, this I didn't put in. They put in. So it's here. Baruch Hashem, I didn't put it in. Baruch Hashem, I was able to read all that. Okay, so we have the Matnoi Saddam. All I want to show you is Avremi Cohen doing the Matana. He goes on the side of the Mizbeach and he applies the blood on one out of the 4 corners. Now, the halacha is some karbonis you need to apply it on all 4. You actually should do all karbonis all 4. Just sometimes you just do 2 applications which are considered 4 because you hit it in the corner and it spreads to 2 walls, so it's 2 that is 4, or you do it in 4. Over here he went and he did it on 1 corner. Not ma'akiv. Where Perikat Chelis is all about things that don't, how do you say ma'akiv in English? No, you had a good one? It's not an impediment. Yeah, we had one. Okay, it's not ma'akiv, he says. That's the best word. It's not ma'akiv. So you do 1 and you have a kapara. How do you know that it works? Yishafech is a lashon yachid. You did 1 shvicha, 1 application. Al mizbach Hashem elikecha. That is good enough. Says the Mishnah. Haparim v'ha'elim v'ha'kvasim einon ma'akvim zeh. So we're going to have to see what we're talking about. Are we talking about Rish Chodesh? But when you bring a musaf, and you have the bulls, you have the rams, and you have the sheep. So if you only have bulls, bring the bulls. You don't have rams, though. Okay, it doesn't mean that you should not bring the bulls. Now within the bulls themselves, there's another chiddush here. Within the bulls themselves, you don't have to bring both. If you only have 1, you bring 1. Whatever you have, you bring. 2 chiddushim, yeah. The type. If you don't have the other types, you can bring 1 type. And within the kvasim, if you have to bring 7 kvasim, you only have 1, bring 1. They're not ma'akiv one another. Haparim v'elim v'akvasim. Einam ma'akiv zezeh. Reb Shimon Omer, im hayu lahem parim merubim. It's referring to the amount of money they have. If the Beis HaMikdash is able to afford the bulls, v'lo hayu lahem nesachim, but they don't have enough money to buy wine. The wine that accompanies these bulls. So what you do is, you bring 1 bull with the wine. V'lo yikrivu kulam beloy nesachim. And don't bring many bowls without the wine. What do you see from over here? You see that shleimus, to do something complete, is better than to do a lot of stuff not so complete. Like the famous Gemara that it's better to daven a little shaloi b'kavana, daven a little b'kavana rather than a lot shaloi b'kavana. Yeah? Sometimes you go to early minyan and the chazan. I'm not looking at him or anything like that. I don't daven there. I daven the next minyan. You just fly through it. So what did you accomplish? No, you said a lot of words. Sit and have kavanah. Huh? L'mashal. One of the G'daylim, I forgot who it was, they came to him, they said, why do you learn Musar? And at the same time that you learn Musar, you know what you could accomplish? You could learn another daf, another this. So he said, I want to tell you that on Shabbos, it's better to make hamoitzi on a small roll rather that's whole than on a beautiful large challah that a little part of it is cut off. Shleimus, cilantro, whatever it is, the shleimus, the small shalom is better and more important than a large not shalom. And you see that over here. It's better to bring one bull with the wine, and that's a complete set, a complete whatever, yes, set is not a bad word, rather than bringing two without the wine, seven kvasim without the wine. Says the Gemara, I don't know, you bring wine with the kvasim. Hani parim, ukvasim dehecha. So what are we referring to exactly? Is it Rosh Chodesh? Is it Sukkot? Is it Shavuos? What is it? Eli Medechag, we're talking about Sukkot. That can't be. As we learned a bunch of times in our Masechta, there's different words, but one of them is kamishpat, kamishpatam. Everybody knows this word from the laning on Sukkot. Kamishpatam. Kamishpatam means to be ma'akiv. It does impede. It does. No, what's the word? We just had it. Hinder. It's ma'akiv. Ella, so we have to move to something else. Ella Rosh Chodesh. We're talking about the Musfer Rosh Chodesh here. Musfer Rosh Chodesh, right over here. Parim, Shnayim, Vayalechad, one ram, Kvasim, Shiva. Okay, so we're talking about Rosh Chodesh. Va'atzer is the Chumash HaPikudim. So I want the Olam here to look at this and look at it carefully because we're going to talk about this a little bit. We're going to go back and forth. The Gemara calls the one on the left Pikudim, and that's referring to Musaf. When the Gemara says Pikudim, Parshas Bamidbar, it's referring to Musaf. And when it talks about Teres Kehanim, Vayikra, it's talking about the Shnei Alechem. They're both talking about Shavuos. On Shavuos you bring Musaf, and you bring Shnei Alechem. You bring the two breads, and everybody knows that the two breads are accompanied by two Kvasim, the Shlamim. But in addition, people don't really know that there's other stuff. So, when it comes to the sheep, they're the same. The Shnei Alechem, the Musaf, you have to bring 7 and 7. When it comes to the bull and the rams, they're reversed. The Shnei Alechem, you bring one bull, and the Musaf, you bring 2 bulls. And the Shnei Alechem, you bring 2 rams, and the Musaf, you bring 1 ram. So Musaf is 1 and 2, and Shnei Alechem is 2 and 1. You can see it here in a visual. If you're listening to us on Torah Anytime, I feel bad for you. Shnei Alechem, you bring 1 bull, 2 rams. Great. But we're going to get back to it. Says the Gemara, but Elim dehecha, idahanu, da'ayelu. Now let's look what the pasuk says over here. How many rams do you have on the left side in the Musaf? Rabbi said it's visual also. There's 1. 1. And look what the Mishnah says. Let's start at the Mishnah. Haparim v'ha'elim, plural, there's 2, v'akvasim, at least 2, minimum 2. So how could it be Rosh Chodesh? Rosh Chodesh Musaf only has 1. Shavuos only has 1. Let's see Rosh Chodesh. Let's go back to Rosh Chodesh here. Rosh Chodesh only has 1. It's blown up. It's easy to see. So it can't be what the Mishnah says when the Mishnah says Elam, it's referring to Rosh Chodesh or Shavuos. And it can't be Sukkos. Why? Because Sukkos it says Kimishpatim. It has to be as so. You can't change it up. It's literally, whatever it is on Sukkos that you bring, that's it. You can't change it. It is Ma'akiv. Eat that, says the Teres Kehanim. So you're going to go to the Shnei Alechem. Now I'm going to go to the right side. Shnei Alechem is 1 bull, 2 rams. Havayik Sibu. Look, I highlighted in yellow. It says you. You means as is. It's no worse than Kimishpatam. We had throughout Zvachim and Menachos. It says you. You means do not change the number. If you don't have 7 kvasim, don't bring 6. It has to be you as is. Oh, okay. Good. But we have a much stronger question. It's a good question, but it's a stronger one. You, Havaya, there's nothing you can do about it. Lo'ilam says the Gemara that says the Teres Kehanim. We are talking about the one on the right. We're talking about the Shnei Alechem. Lo'ilim the Teres Kehanim me'akvilei la'ayil the Chomish HaPikudim. V'lo'ayil the Chomish HaPikudim the Chumash HaPikudim Chomish HaPikudim. Me'akvilu lo'ilim the Teres Kehanim. It's not a Chomish, it's Chumash. He's right. It says what? It says Bechomish. Yeah, I'm learning from the same Gemara as yours. Yeah. What does it say by you? Chumash. Yeah, Chumash. Okay. Mistake.
Here it says Chomish, but here it
says that is my Gemara. That's Oiz Vahadar, and they changed it somehow. Okay. So no, because they got it from a different source. Anyway, not because they whatever. I'm not saying that no, they got it from I don't know where. Oh, it's another way of saying weiter. It's the new weiter, the new and improved weiter. B'loshen Nakia, weiter b'loshen Nakia. So the ones on the right and the ones on the left are not ma'akiv. Let's say you only have enough for Shnei Alechem, so you bring 2 rams, 1 bull, 7 sheep, and Shalom Yisrael. What happens in Musaf is not my problem. They're two separate karbanas, the two different sets. One is for Shnei Alechem, one is for Musaf. One is not ma'akiv the other. That's all it says here. The Bamidbar is not ma'akiv the Vayikra. Whatever you do in Bamidbar, if you have enough, it says you have to bring exactly as is. Great, but one is not ma'akiv the other. You have to have the full set on the right. And we don't care about how many you have on the left, or the full set on the left. We don't care about the right. But it says in Gemara, something's wrong here. When it comes to the bulls, we're saying that they each other, the 2 bulls, are not ma'akiv. Now when it goes to the rams of the Shnei Alechem are not ma'akiv the ram of the Musaf, and vice versa. Inu, ma'akvi. But within the Shnei Alechem, you're telling me that it is ma'akiv. So we're doing 2 different things here. We're saying that the bulls are not ma'akiv each other, but one is not ma'akiv each other either. Like we're going from Shnei Alechem to Musaf, that's one not ma'akiv, and also within itself they're not ma'akiv when it comes to the bulls. But that's 2 different types of not ma'akiv. So says the Gemara, yeah, Tani Mili Katani. You're right. Yeah, it's 2 different types of ma'akivs. One is bulls, one is rams, 2 different things. Uvayoim hachodesh par ben baker. So now we're going into a little bit of Agadita. We're going to real Agadita, but it's sort of like an Agadita. Why? Because we're going to take the psukim from Yecheskel and show how they seemingly don't line up with the psukim in the Torah. They look like a contradiction. We have a chodesh. It says, now let's look at this pasuk carefully. We all know this pasuk. We say it all the time in Rosh Chodesh, at least 12 times a year or 11 times a year. Roshecha Cheichem Takriv Oil Hashem. How many bulls? Parim. Parim b'nei bakar Shnayim 2. Kvasim Shiva. Ariel 1. Doesn't line up with Yecheskel. It says, Uviyam HaChodesh, Arish Chodesh, Par. In this pasuk it says Parim, 2. Par ben Bakar. And then it says Shisha Kvasim. Doesn't line up with the 7 that it says in the Torah. Va'ayil Tmimim Yu. Okay, so Ayil's okay. Par Matam Eloimer. So what's going on here with Yecheskel? What he's coming to say is, it says in Torah 2, but Chesel's coming to tell you, Chiddush. What if you only have one? Bring one. The Torah says you need 7. But if you don't have 7, you only have 6, you should bring 6. If you don't have 4, you should bring 3. If you only have 1, bring 1. Rabbi said this could be mamish a murdik, not a short. But Reb Chaim Kanievsky, how many daf a day did he learn? 7. Everybody should be learning 7 daf a day. That's the minimum. But if you can't do 7, you should do 6. If you can't do 6, you do 5. If you can't do 3, you can't do 2, you do 1. 1 is the minimum. Filu echad. You should be finishing Shas once a year. Why not? Yeah. If the Olam wants, I don't want to talk about it because it's competition. But my father is a Zayin Gesund. He does 7 daf a day in 2 languages. So you can be ma'ayin on YouTube. And whatever, you could, if you need the pictures, whatever, you come to my share. Fine. What about the sponsors? In the time that I do the sponsors, he's already done with the 1 daf at least. Yeah. Great. There's a maiso with Rabbi Chana Wasserman, just to remind, it triggered the story. It says, Vafilu echad. Rabbi Chana Wasserman was collecting money in America. He was in a shul. He gave a fiery speech. And he noticed that the oilam was mamish into the speech. He said, like, if you can't take on a whole year of my yeshiva, so take on a month. You can't do a month, take on a week. And the oilam's like, they're shaking their head and they're all into it. And he finished his speech and he's going to make a killing here. And the Rav gets up, bangs on the beam, he says, Rabbi Isai, $1 or 2 is also good for tzedakah. And he just took the ear right out of his sails. And the Rav afterwards came over to him and said, you know, are you makbid on me? Are you makbid what I said? So Rabbi Chana looked at him and said, no. To give money to Torah, you need a schus. Obviously, apparently, you guys here don't have the schus to give to Torah. You had the opportunity, you missed the opportunity. Maisa here in MDY, one of my good friends, without going into too many details, I was sitting and schmoozing with him and he told me that he is in charge of a fund of a guy that was nifter. Guy left him his money and he has to give it to tzedakahs. And he's about to give $100,000 to a co-ed camp for a zip line. So I looked at him and said, I don't understand. You think the neshama wants you to get a zip line for this camp? He says, yeah, the kids are going to have fun and they're going to be. I said, if you give it to Torah, you give it to MDY, the neshama will have real schusim. A zip line for co-ed camp? Like, it doesn't make sense. You really think that that's what the neshama wants? Or Rabbi, the Rosh Koil is Koil. So, Lamaisi gave it to MDY. And then they ended up giving it to MDY. You shkoyach to him. But sometimes you need a schos to give to Torah. Sometimes the neshama doesn't have the schos. And some guy that's in charge of your money gives it to a zip line. You need schosim.
What's a zip line? Somebody doesn't know what a zip line is.
Something you shouldn't be doing in your... Yeah. No, I'm just vafilu echad.
Said that also all the time.
The guy, the Rav said vafilu echad, even $1. No, it sounds like a thing that a super schnorrer will tell you. You don't have the schus to give me the money. You know, because Baruch Hu doesn't want you to give the schus, or you know, like a reverse thing.
Chaim said it.
About.
No, I said I need people to pay for your sefer. He said tzarich zchus. He said it, and then the moment he took that on, everything changed. He stopped looking for money. The money would come to him.
Again, Reb Chaim Kanievsky.
Chaim said to Shaykh.
Oh.
He was putting out his farm.
I got it.
So he said, "How am I need someone to pay for it." So Chaim said, "Tzarich zchus." Don't worry, the money's going to come, but you need a zchus for it. He said the moment that changed everything, the way he looked at fundraising.
I got it. Okay.
Shimshi, don't mess up things. Shimshi. He's a Rav.
It's a good line. It's a good line. I once wrote in the book. It's not not bad. He didn't ruin it. He paused. The short is there. Rav Nachman, the short is there. He paused and then he said it. Oh. Mendy, if you only saw the video that they made of you last night, you saw it? Yeah. Somebody put it up here, Ariel. You can put it right now. It's Moirdik. Gary, do you have it?
To bring it down.
Send it. You have it? Somebody send it to him. We'll show it in cheer. It's Givaldik. It's Busha Barabim. You need it. It'll be a schus for Shidduchim, for all colleagues. Shishu Kvasim Al Tamad. Okay, so we're here. Talmud loyma v'likvasim asher tasig yodoi. Whatever you could afford, whatever you could get, that's what you bring. You can get one sheep. Bring one out of 7. So the Gemara asks, no. Oh, yeah. Why do I have to write 6? Lamali. In other words, it's either 7 or 1. What does 6 mean? The kama, the evshela hadurim, adrino, it doesn't matter. It's whatever you could afford. 3, 4, 5, each one is better than the next. But don't be an all or nothing person.
You might think, once I'm not doing 7, I
will
just do 1.
Exactly. It's 7, we have a pasuk for 7, we have a pasuk for 1. Do 1. If you can't do the whole amount, so do 1. No. If you can do 3, not only that, says the Gemara. Uminayin shemakvin says, what does the question mean? That if you have 6, you mechuyev to bring 6. Now you can't say, oh, I'm allowed to bring 1. I'll think if I have 7, then of course it's ma'akiv. But if I have 6, I have another number that it's not ma'akiv. No, the ma'akiv is in every number that you have. You must bring that the entire amount. Talmud lo yimar yiu. For that, I taka need the pasuk yiu. We forgot for a second that it says yiu. What are we going to do with the yiu? If it's not yiu, always means it has to be exact. You can't veer off what the Torah says. But we just veered off. We said if you don't have 7, bring 1. So we basically got rid of the yiu. Says Gemara, no, we didn't get rid of the yiu. Yiu is telling us whatever you have in stock, you mechuyev to bring that whole stock yiu.
That's a big yisod. It's not all or nothing, but it's also you have to do the best you can.
The best you can. Give all day. The best you can. What you have, in other words, your kishroinus, your kaiches, your ability, the hours that you have in the day left over after you come back from work, that's what you have.
Is it better to bring a second canvas or to bring a first part?
Oh, that I don't know. So now we're going into Yecheskel. Different, interesting psukim that seemingly don't make sense. Barishoin be'echad l'chodesh. Barishoin means the first month of the year, meaning Nisan. Be'echad l'chodesh. Tikach parben bakar tamim v'chiteisas hamikdash. Take this bull, the single bull, and you should use it as a chatos. V'chiteisa means that you should clean, but it's a lashon of chatos. Ask the Gemara, chatos? Oilihi. It's not a chatos, it's a oila. I have no idea what's going on here. I have to wait for Eliyahu Hanavi. The Rashba asks a bomb kasha. Why do you have to wait for Eliyahu Hanavi? Wait for Yecheskel Hanavi. He wrote it. Ask the author himself. What?
Eliyahu comes before Tchesed.
Oh, why? Who says?
He's the Mavasser.
Okay, that's what he says. That's what he says. What if he comes before? And he comes a little bit before Yecheskel. So he's going to come to Bati Midrashim. You ask him. Another question they ask is, the Gemara always mentions that Eliyahu Hanavi comes to this Tana, to that Tana. He showed him this, he told him this. The Gemara in Brachas, right in the beginning of Brachas, he was in a churva, Eliyahu Hanavi. So why don't we ask Eliyahu Hanavi all our questions? When he shows up to the Tana, so ask him the question, Teiku. Says Teiku. No, of course he knows him. No, the Gemara, it says Eliyahu Hanavi came.
He comes, you don't know what's it.
That's something else. But I'm saying when he talks to him and learning, he spoke to him and he says, Eliyahu, what's it? Why don't you ask him the Teikus? Oh, so okay. I'm going to control myself. Those who have the question, they looked in the art scroll, they have the question from the art scroll, they know the answer from the art scroll. So I'm going to say the question, I'm going to say the answer. When Eliyahu Hanavi comes to Tana, he comes as a malach. As a malach, Leiba Shemayim. The Torah is not in Shemayim. We're hoping he's going to come in the form of a person, and then he'll be able to answer the teikos. There's a famous ma'isa that a guy comes to Rav Shteiman and says to Rav Shteiman, "Am Eliyahu Hanavi." So Rav Shteiman tells him, "Ooh, I've been waiting for you since 3rd grade. Chatzi kav, b'shtei amos ma'u. The guy looks at him and poof, he skittled out of there. They also say, another pshat that they say is that that's one of the tests that we're going to have. I always understood that when Eliyahu Navi comes, it's not going to be a question, oh, I thought Eliyahu Navi is a Litvak and you're Hasidish. Oh, you're Hasidish, I thought he's a Litvak. It's going to be, you're going to know. It's just, you know that he... But what it's saying is that when Eliyahu Navi comes, he's going to give you answers on teikus that nobody in the world could answer. It's going to be so clear. So this, you say, oh, he's Eliyahu Navi. Yeah.
Says over there, he says, how on Shabbos?
We're in Erev.
Can't come. I don't remember what time.
What time?
But in Erev, he's talking about it.
No. Oh, Rabbi Willig.
Sam Sofer says, I understand, he goes to every single bris on Shabbos. Eliyahu Malach HaBris, so why is there a problem with Erev? So he said there's 2 bechinas, the bechina of a Malach of Eliyahu,
Right.
the bechina of a Malach.
Okay? Mem Gimel. Look it up. Zog the Gemara. Rav Ashi Omer Miluim Hikrivu B'mei Ezra. Oh. I'm missing all the videos here. Okay, so let's
Go back to the beginning.
what? Maybe the internet is disconnected. Okay. We have a guy that we tested yesterday, a new AI guy. So check this out. This is his very first video. It's very impressive for a first video. This is a guy that starts out with 7 sheep, but he only ends up with 1. I don't hear the music. The Bedouins. Look at the skylight going on over there. That's a little long, okay. All right, not bad. He has a lot of potential, this guy. Okay. Rav Ashi Omar Milui Mikrivu B'mei Ezra. This is not him. This is somebody else. Oh, where was this? It's out of order. That. It's the karbanos that they brought, the same karbanos they brought by Moshe, they brought by Sheni. Tanya Nami Achi, Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Parsha Zu, Eliyahu Asa the Darsha. Rabbi Yehuda says, I don't understand it. It says, B'chiteisa, I don't know what it means. I'm going to wait for Eliyahu Navi. Amalei Rabbi Yosi, Milui Mekrivu B'mei, same answer. Kederch Shekrivu B'Moshe, it's referring to the karbanos of the Miluim. Amar Loi, Tanuch Daitcha, Shenachta Daiti, thank you for, now I'm relaxed, I have a good pshat. Next problem. It says, Kohanim cannot eat nevela. Ask the Gemara, Kohanim de Yoichlu or Yisrael Achli, why does Yecheskel say that only a Kohen should eat nevela? No one could eat a nevela. This is also something that we have to wait for Eliyahu Navi. Ravino Amar Kohanim Yitzrachlei. The Chiddush is in the Kohanim. We know that a Kohen could eat from Melika. When does he eat from Melika, Rabbi Isai? Chata Soif. Not Oila Soif. Chata Soif, he can eat from Melika, which is basically a treifa. So he has a heter in treifa, so I would think that maybe he has a heter somewhere else. Kamash v'lon, even a kohen cannot eat nevelu treifa. V'chein ta'aseh b'shiva b'chodesh mi'ish shoyge u'mepesi v'chipartem es habayis. There's two words here. Shiva b'chodesh, the 7th of the month. What is going on here? Omer Rabbi Yochanan, elu shiva shvatim shechatu. So we know there's a concept called, says Rabbi Yochanan, this entire pasuk is talking about par helam davar. When Klal Yisrael gets a psak here from, this is our old par helam davar, this is Sanhedrin. Sanhedrin makes a psak that you're allowed to eat a certain type of chaylev, not all chaylev, a certain type of chaylev. Is Bart. Matirim chaylev tzoyin, or a certain type of the chaylev within the animal. Oh. He eats it. I don't know who it is. It's a yeshivish guy, what do you mean? Chaymer. Timer Dvaira. Shiva, Amar B'Yechanan, Elu Shiva Shvatim Shechatu. Now, in order to bring a parallel davar, you need Roiv Klal. So this is the older one that Yoshi did. There's two ways to view Klal Yisrael. In numbers, let's say Klal Yisrael is 10 million people, so 5.1 is the Roiv. Or you could go by Shvatim. So even though the Shvatim, they're less in terms of people, but they're more in terms of the amount of Shvatim. The 7 Shvatim versus the 5, even though they have less people, they fill up less seats in the stadium, they're the Roiv. You're right, electoral votes, literally. This is a very nice, the detailer is unbelievable. They're eating chaylev over here. So you need all of Klal Yisrael, you need Rosh Shvatim of Klal Yisrael. Bekitzer, Rosh Shvatim. Even though you don't have the majority in numbers, you have the majority of the electoral votes of the Shvatim. Now the word Chodesh, so 7 is referring to the amount of Shvatim, not to the day of the month. What about the word Chodesh? It doesn't mean month? No. Chodesh comes from a lashon of renewal. Im chitchu v'amru chaylev muter. If they said a new chiddush, and they said chaylev is muter, mish shoygu pesi, and now it fits into the rest of the pasuk that you're talking about a shoygu, you're talking about a pesi. That Bezdin made a mistake, they thought it's mutter, and then you ate it b'shoygig. And here Rabbi Yisai, enjoy this. This is a piece of Agadita. Omer Rav Yudah Omer Rav. Zochar oisoy ha'ish l'toiv. There's a person that we must remember for the good. V'chanino ben Chizkiya Shemoy. His name is Chanino. Shilmali hu, without him, nignas Sefer Yecheskel. The entire Sefer Yecheskel wouldn't be in existence today. We couldn't understand it, and it looked as if there was a contradiction between Yecheskel and the Torah, and you have to get rid of it. There's nothing we can do. It's going to bring about bad things. People are going to start questioning the Torah. Me'asa, what did he do? Hello, Shloshmeus Garvi Shemen. He brought 300 barrels of wine. Now, usually, oil. Shemen means wine, oil. Kidding. Shemen is oil. 300 barrels. 300 is also a lashon of a guzman in the Gemara. 300, 400. He brought 300 barrels of oil. V'yoshav ba'aliyah udrashay. Here we go.
Burning the midnight oil.
Huh?
Burning the midnight oil. Burning the oil.
Yeah. He was burning oil to learn and also to eat. Rashi says somewhere else to eat. I told him to do this, like to do a little thing about it, but I love their creativity, bemis, like to think about putting the whole Geniza box, these famous Geniza boxes you have in Eretz Yisrael. This is right out of, we have one in our neighborhood, a few of them in the neighborhood like this. So he took it, he made it, it's a portable Geniza box. The chicken running around, okay? It's Geniza pickup. We sell Cheskel over here. Oh. In a Pirush of Chanina ben Chizkiah. That what? He brought with him 300 barrels of oil and he sat in the attic. By the way, this is a famous attic. This is one of the most famous attics in Shas. This is the same attic from Masechtas Shabbos that Basil and Bishamai were there, Nimnu v'Gamru, and we had the 18 Xeris of Bishamai. The Bishamai beat out Basil. The question is, it says over there, the Aliyah, he was in the Aliyah Sagag over there, and they came, they visited him. So the question is, why did he need to bring so much oil? When you run out of oil, you go downstairs to the kitchen, you get more. You go to the makal, you get more. What's the vart of the 300? So first thing that came to mind to me was the famous vart that you don't make a hefsek. You learn straight, and that's the best type of learning. Ritzifus. Like when you want to learn, you turn off your phone because all those messages that come in, most people get messages. Every 3 to 5 minutes is something coming in, and naturally, you want to look at your phone. Like when it just dings, you got to look even when you're in the middle. So that look to the side takes away from you. Go up to the Aliyah Sagag. There's no. I have my food, I have my light, and I go. I'm going to go until I have pshat. But Rabbi Yakim from the Koil, he told me a better pshat. He said it's his own pshat. I like it a lot. That when you show your commitment to the thing, you say, I'm committed until I have pshat. Not the ritzifos. You tell the Rebbeinu Shalom, I'm here, I'm not leaving until I have pshat. I'm committed. Here. That's my thing. The what?
I'm not walking out of the circle.
I'm not working out of the circle. Yeah. It's 12 plus 12 is not 24. It's different. He says it's the commitment part. So Rav Shimon says it's better to bring one with wine than many without. How much flour do you bring for a bull? You bring 3. But it says in the pasuk ve'efa 1. Ve'efa la'ayil. How many you bring for a ram? 2. But it says 1. It's not 1. So why does it say 1 if it's really 3 or 2? You had many bulls without wine. It's better to bring, over here, what it says, ve'efa means 1. It's better to bring 1 whole than a bunch of broken ones. Bring 1 ram. And do not bring all of them without. It's better to bring 1 whole unit. Masher. He's back.
That's what we're doing.
Turning to the Daf by Adar Global for Adar and Adar Global. Happy clients all year, not just this month. L'shadach.com. Please read a shidduch today. Zog the Heilige Mishnah. Again, continuing with the theme, what's not ma'akiv what? Hapar ve'elim va'kvasim v'asor ein ma'akiv misalechem. A continuation of that story that I asked a bunch of people at the chasana what a tful yom is, and nobody knew really. So my brother-in-law said, I was at the Shabbat Brachos 2 nights ago, and he says, very good, you asked all these people. Why didn't you ask my son? He goes to Zichru. Oh, so he has a 12-year-old. A different Zichru. The Zichru here, that's... He got all excited. Zichru. They have about at least 80 Zichru schools here in Israel, and that was 10 years ago. So I don't know how many they have today. They have a lot of Zichru schools. And Zichru, they learn, they do Girsa. They do a lot of Chazar and Chumash, and they know Chumash Baal Peh, and they know, but it's not just Chumash. They know Musagim, they know Mishnais Baal Peh, they learn a lot of Shizr, Tanakh, the whole thing. So the kid is 12 years old. I said, what's a Tvul Yom? So he said like that. So I chapped that his father probably said, no. I said, what's a Mechuz Kippurim? So I started asking him, well, the kid knows. They know Musagim, but they don't think. Boop, it comes right out. So he's right. So anyway, so I'm saying, why am I saying this? Because a kid like that, when he reads this Mishnah, he understands it. Unlike me. I read this Mishnah, I didn't know it was flying here. It says, Kvasim, it says sheep, it says, Ein ma'akiv es halechem. It's not ma'akiv. You read the next line, it says, Halechem ma'akiv es hakvasim. Ve'ein hag, 1 minute. 1 minute, I'm just skipping. I'm skipping on purpose. Halechem ma'akiv es hakvasim. Ve'ein hakvasim ma'akiv es halechem. What is going on here? It's ma'akiv, it's not ma'akiv. What's kvasim? But I'm saying if you know a little bit chumash, it says like this. Hapar ve'elim va'kvasim. That's a category that you bring on Shavuos. It goes together. This doesn't have to do with the shlamim. Because as soon as I talk about a par, elim, and kvasim, it has nothing to do with the shlamim, with the shnei alechem. This is something else that you bring on Shavuos. So that's what we're talking about. Kvasim over here is referring to oila, not shlamim. That's what got me confused. Because kvasim usually on Shavuos means shlamim. Over here it means oila. Why? Because it goes together with par, elim, and kvasim. Okay, so not to confuse everybody. Hapar ve'elim va'kvasim v'asor ein ma'akim salechem. You can bring the bread without them. And the bread is not making them. Halechem ma'akim sakvasim. Whoa! Over here it says the opposite all of a sudden. Halechem ma'akim sakvasim. Because these sheep are talking about shlamim. They're all by themselves. Right, but I'm saying if you didn't have Rashi then. So your kid saying a Mishnah Bal Peh, what's going on here? Because you know it's pashut that we're talking about kvasim by themselves. Standalone kvasim means shlamim. These guys right over here. Forgot to show the picture, like we're so used to this. Here. These are the shlamim that go together with the breads. So, without the bread, you can't bring the keves. Ve'en hakvasim. Ma'akim salachim. You could bring bread without the sheep. Divrei Rebbe Kiva. That's the sheep of Rebbe Kiva. Arvashim bananas loiki. No, you're wrong. El hakvasim ma'akim salechem. You cannot bring the bread without the sheep. The exact opposite. You could bring sheep without bread. And I'll prove it to you. What did they do in the midbar? There's no bread in the midbar. Why is there no bread in the midbar, Rabbi Isai? There's mon. The question is, the Rishonim ask, but you could get bread from the Goyim. The Goyim sold them bread, so take the wheat from them, buy wheat and make shtei alechem. The answer is because it's not from Eretz Yisrael. It's only crop from Eretz Yisrael. So there's no bread in the midbar. No bread in the midbar, so they couldn't bring the shei alechem, but you could bring the kvasim. This is amazing. He was mechaven to the truth, but he didn't know why. His answer is not good. His reasoning is terrible. He says he's off, but he's right. He happens to be right. That what? Let's go back. What's Chumash HaPikudim? Musaf, right? Chumash HaPikudim HaMidbar means the Musaf. Teres Kohanim means Shnei Alechem. Everything that's brought down, the Musaf that's brought down in Pinchas, the famous Pinchas, all the Musafim over there, so everything on the left, they brought in the Midbar. You're wrong, bananas. They didn't bring a single carbon in the midbar. You're telling me, they didn't have bread, but they brought the kvasim. They did not bring the kvasim that go with the shnei alechem. And when they came to Eretz Yisrael, they brought all the karbanos. But you happen to be right. So he says, I'll tell you why. You happen to be right, bananas. Bring the keves without the bread. You know why? We learned in Zvachim a lot. So for the new people, how could a kohen eat from the lechem upon him? How could he eat from it? You need something to allow you to eat it. So what allows you to eat the lechem upon him? You guys remember? The bezichin. You have 2 spoonfuls of frankincense of levina. You put it on the mizbeach. That's the matter to eat the lechem upon him. What allows you to eat a carbon? You bring a carbon. What allows you to? The zrikas adam, sprinkle the blood. What allows you to eat the shtei alechem, the 2 breads and Shavuos? The carbon. So if you don't have a carbon, you can't eat the bread. You're stuck. You can't. The only way to eat bread is if you have a carbon. The sheep, when you shechted, while you shecht, now you can eat it itself. You can't. There's nothing to be matter. Says the Gemara, on the one hand, it seems like that you have to have bread in order to be makriv. In order to be makriv, you need bread. Mitzat Sheni, the next part of the pasuk, Shivas Kvasim Temimim, these words stand by themselves. Av pi she'ein lechem. You don't eat bread. Im keim atam aloymar ala lechem. Melam shelo nischayim b'kvasim kodesh nischayim b'lechem. You didn't have to bring, again, not like Banana said, but you didn't have to bring the sheep. You couldn't be makriv sheep before you had the bread. So in the midbar, there's no sheep, there's no bread, so there's no korbanos. They were able to maybe Klal Yisrael only brought one set of 7 sheep. Okay, it's not 14 over here. And in this picture, you have Shnei Lechem Mosef. You have 7 and 7. No, it's 1 7. You only brought 7, not 14. Look at the bull. There's only 1 bull on the right side, and there's 2 bulls on the left side. So it's very different. There's only 1 ram on the left and 2 rams on the right. Two for those who are listening. 2 rams in the Shnei Lechem, 1 bull in Shnei Lechem. 2 bulls in Musaf, 1 ram in Musaf. So they're different. So just like over there they're different, so the sheep are also different. So the 7 sheep in Torah's Kahanim Vayikra come for the Shnei Lechem. Another additional 7 sheep, a total of 14, come for the Musaf. One has nothing to do with the other. Bottom line is, all the karbanos on the right, the Shnei Lechem, weren't in the midbar. As the Gemara, who told you? You're right. There's 1 bull here, 2 bulls here. There's 1 ram here, 2 rams here. But the kvasim are 7 and 7. Maybe they're exactly the same. No. Since the bulls and the rams are different numbers, so the sheep, even though it's the same number, they're different sheep. As the Gemara, who told you? This is a bomb question. Maybe the fact that there's 2 bulls instead of 1 bull is to tell you that if you only have 1 bull, bring 2 rams. And if you only have 1 ram, bring 2 bulls. It's interchangeable. You have to bring 2 and 1. How you do it, I don't care. It could be 2 bulls and 1 ram, or it could be 2 rams and 1 bull. That's what the Torah is telling me. The Torah is not saying do it again. It's just either or. And kvasim are 7. No, it has to be 7. Equal. It's always equal. Bring 1 bull, 2 rams. It's 2 and 1. I don't care how. Says Gemara, no. Now read with me. Look at this. Look. Now you don't have to be a genius to see this. I did it in a way. It's very easy. It's green, red, purple on the right. You see, kvasim parelim, green, red, purple. What's on the left? Red, purple, green. Parim ayil kvasim. In other words, the kvasim are at the end, and the par is in the beginning. Over there, the kvasim are in the beginning. So what do you see? You see that since the Torah changed the whole order, you see that's a completely different carbon. Ememela, 2 and 1, 1 and 2, 7 plus. You have to do 14 total sheep. Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.